deeper, a little deeper. Sit up. Lean down with your butt. There you go. There you go. I got the flip on. There you go. Good job. Chest up, chin up. Lay down with your butt. Drive through with your hips. Look at your hips. Hips. There you go. Good job. Butt, lead, hips up. There you go. Butt, lead, hips up. Butt, lead, hips up. Two more. Butt, lead, hips up. One more. Butt, lead, hips up. Yeah, this one. You feel the difference in that? If you keep that in mind, if you keep in mind leaning down with your instead of squatting down, when you squat down, like when anybody sit down, if I sit down, I'm leaning down with my butt, I have a different posture. And watch, I mean, it's really scientifically and it's really true. Whenever you sit into a chair, you just know, it's not like when you squat. When you squat, the first thing that bends is your back. You understand what I'm saying? Before you start getting lower, because you want to get lower to the ground, you want to lower everything. When you sit in a chair, you don't do this to sit in a chair. You understand what I'm saying? First thing you do is search for the seat with your butt. First you go with your hand, making sure that you don't fall. It's just a natural reaction when you're doing that. Well, the problem with most athletes and most people when they're squatting, they do this. So it don't become a lot of leg exercise. It become a lot of lower back, and it's a bad position for the lower back, especially when you're not using like a Smith machine and you're just using a regular bar, because that muscle that you're working usually cannot handle the capacity of the muscle, that the weight that you're bringing forward on it. You know, when you got your spine in a straight and angle, got your arch in your back, you don't get too much spine muscles other than stabilizing that's involved in the squat. You understand what I'm saying? It's a stabilizing muscle. But once you start doing stuff like this, you know what I'm saying, it brings it out of character and it puts a lot of pressure on that lower back muscle, which allows, you usually have people injure themselves or pull their muscles, or they get herniated this and their back and stuff, and they get afraid and never squat again. You understand what I'm saying? Just because of form. So I found it much easier and a lot easier for people to get the feeling of what it is that I'm asking for if I ask them not to just squat, but if I ask them to do things that's relevant to doing exercises. So I would say, you know, act like you're doing this, or reach for the wall, because when I say these things, you understand the concept of reaching all the way out. Now if I say just fly, okay, now don't bend your arms and do all that stuff, you know, it's easier for me to say try to touch both sides of the wall. Right. Now you know to extend away from your body. Try to go all the way up to the ceiling. You understand what I'm saying? So that feeling, the same way with the squat, usually puts the person in a proper range of motion, or in a proper thought process in what it is that I'm trying to get accomplished. With that said, so whenever you get in trouble on your own and you're training by yourself, you go back to the simple thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Sit in a chair. Right. And when it gets heavy, it ain't for when it's light. Believe me. When it's light, you know what I'm saying? You can do this shit all day and, you know what I'm saying, giggle and laugh. When it get heavy, that's when the opportunity to injure yourself come, and you got to be on point when it gets heavy. So that's why I say that. And that's why I'm so particular about when we're doing squats and stuff like that, because there's so many other different things that can go wrong, and nobody want to miss work behind bad form or not a good explanation by the trainer. Same thing, good posture, chin up, chest up, butt out. Sit down in the chair, drive up with your hips. There you go. There you go. Nice. Good job. Sit down in the chair. Nice. Good form. Beautiful. Good job. Good job. All right, let's get at it. Good job. 5, 4, 3, 2. Just make them good. One more. Good job. Good. You felt that one after I said, when I said make them good, yeah. How you got forward on that? Yeah. And that's just all I was commenting on. You don't even have to ride a bike on legs day. You can just relax, strength, shake your legs out. You're gonna get more than what you need on these legs today. Good form, good form. Don't get like the one. Now, I know you caught it because I seen how you reacted, but you can feel yourself when you get out of balance and when you get off too far over forward or too far. You know, a lot of people say the same, but in lifting weights and exercising, it is really the true saying. Keep it simple, student. You understand? Simple movements, simple thought patterns. Understand what it is that you're trying to accomplish when you go in there. You don't even really have to get that dynamic. A lot of times, my best workouts is 2 or 3 exercises. Just my best workouts. This is the honest to God truth. Is when I just go in, I just do like a squat on a squat day, or I do a deadlift on a deadlift day. Simple form, put the weight on. If it's endurance, I do endurance. If it's explosion, I do explosion. If it's just regular like this with power, I'm doing power. I go and I do an extension or something like that. I do something to hit my hamstrings and I get out the gym. You understand what I'm saying? My worst days is when I got 50 different machines and I got leg press and I got all these other things. I got front squats and all these other different particular movements and stuff like that, because I got too many different things that's distracting me and too many different areas that I'm trying to hit, that sometimes I'm not productive in most of them. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm like, dang, what did I just wasted 2 hours in the gym doing this for? All right, big set. Starting to get decent with the weight. There you go. Let's get it. Nice, good job, good lead. Good job. Come on, there you go, there you go. Lead with the butt, there you go. Chest high, lead with the butt. Nice, that's a good one right there. Lead with the butt, that's another good one. Got it there. 5, 4, 3, 2. One more. Nice, good work. Come on this side, nice, good work. All right, we're getting after it today. Ain't no girls in the gym today. There's women in here today. the little girls at home today, because this ain't no girl day. This is a woman day. You gotta come in with your full Wonder Woman gear on today, because we putting some weight on you today. So we go get after it, because we take advantages of our strengths once again. And I'm not gonna mess around with you. I'm just gonna demand a lot from you just right off the bat. I'm trying to see exactly where I want to go with. Demand a lot right off the bat. This is what you're here for. It's time to see. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Time to get after it. 190 on 195 on the bar. This is what's gonna get those endorphins, get those hormones going, have you burning, big fuel source, big production of cleaning out your body, using fat as energy, making your metabolism and your body more efficient in what you do. Wait, get in and see how we do this. So I'm gonna make sure that we're safe. There we go. Alright, lead down with your butt. Stay set, chest up high. Ready? Up. Let's get it. Lead down with your butt. Chest up. Ready? Nice, good job. Put your chest up high. Here, there you go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Up. 2 more. 1 more. Dry. Up. Roll. Right. Good job. Great set. Stretch it out. Great set. Good job. How'd that feel? Good. I didn't get to see it but it looks good. You wasn't getting forward. I'll see it again on the tape when we get done. All right, go ahead and rise just a little bit. Stretch out. We're going to do this last sit with this one. Actually, like 10 more pounds on. 10 more? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I told you there ain't no girls in the gym today. Take a little drink of water. I ain't going to have you riding too much, because we're going to get in and we're going to get after it. I'm keeping your heart rate and keeping the intensity up with the shortened rest period in between each set. So. How much is that? 195. Let me see. What was this? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be honest. 195 was on the bar. I just put 35 and 35 on each side, so that makes it what? 215. 215. 215. We're gonna do it. What are we looking for? Huh? I'm thinking of 5.
Like 2?
I'm thinking of 5. I'm thinking of 4 minimum. I'm thinking of 4 minimum. You got it. All right. Yeah. Get it ready. I'm thinking of 4 minimum. Let's get after it. Let me get a different angle on this too. I'm thinking of 4 minimum.
4?
I'm thinking of 4 minimum. So go into it. Be mentally ready too. I'm thinking it a big 4. And then I'm gonna break it down to a plate, and then we'll do a couple of reps, and then we'll move on to the next exercise. So I'm thinking of mean lean, keep yourself up, head up, chest up. You're born. Let's get at it. On you. 1. Ready? Let's go. Let's go. You got it. Easy 4. Easy 4. Up. Easy. Come on. Up. Stay up. Up. 1 more. Up. Nice. Up. How'd that feel?
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah.
One thing. Even when we get this heavy, if you don't go deep enough,
Then
scratch that motherfucker.
Okay.
You know, scratch that one and keep coming up, because I don't have a way, and I don't have a way of not knowing that it's not too heavy for you. You understand what I'm saying? So when a person, and I know you want to make sure you go deep enough, it tells me 2 things: that it's not heavy enough because you can still do that. it tells me it's not heavy enough, because if you go like this and you didn't get low enough, and you go, oh, okay, I'm gonna get it, then it's not heavy enough, because you don't do that when it's too heavy. You understand what I'm saying? So and that's cool, and I have no problem with that. That's a good squat. But like I said, for the person that's spotting and the people that's spotting, all I see is heavy weight. You go down and you don't come back up, and you go right back down. So I think that the weight or an injury, or you hurt your back or something, that's, as a trainer, that would be my first thought. Okay, let's stop. You understand what I'm saying? So if you don't get it, do an extra one on the end if you want to do it. Don't redo it in the middle of the exercise, because not only does it send a signal to me like, oh, shoot, you understand what I'm saying? It also is a possibility that you can hurt yourself, and I don't want you to get into the practice of doing that when you're heavy rep. If you anything that you're unpleased with during the exercise as we go heavy, just do it at the end. Say, 1 more, I'm gonna do 1 more. You understand? Keep it in your mind and say, I'm gonna do 1 more. Good job. Great work though. Great job. Once again, I didn't get to see the whole form of it, but I'll see it on the tape. But from what I've seen, just from looking at it from behind, really good. Really light too. You probably had another,
I'd say 2 or 3.
2 or 3 reps inside it. So you probably had 6. Probably could have got 8. You understand what I'm saying? That would have been a good work. And ultimately,
actually, I thought it was gonna be heavier.
Yeah. Ultimately, 210 for 6 to 8 would probably be where I would have you work in that range to better release the hormones and challenge yourself at the same time too. I think that'd be a challenge on. All right, go back to the conventional, just a lighter weight. And what I'm gonna have you do this time, just to isolate and to focus on the outside part of the legs, I'm gonna have you bring your feet in closer and your feet out in front of you. So you're gonna create a little angle back. You're just gonna sit down there, leading with your butt. Same thing that I did last time. Leading with your butt. Chin up, chest up, in the form. We're gonna do one like that. Then the next one, you're gonna point your toes out, kind of like a ballerina, working the inside, the medial side of the leg, the abductor longus, gracilis, serratus, all these different muscles in here, semitendinosus of the hamstring. Just to give your legs a well-rounded, all the way look. I'll demonstrate. Feet pointed outward. Actually, I'm gonna go. Now that I'm doing it, I'm gonna go down to 35, like a pirouette, like you see a ballerina come out. Leading your butt down, but now you're thinking of taking your knees outside of your feet. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna actually go lighter. Not because I don't think that you can't do this fairly easy and really simple, but I want you to get some reps, and I don't want you to not get the form down before you get fatigued and you're worrying about the weight. You understand what I'm saying? So, but I know that you can definitely do this easily as far as like weight wise. So in this exercise right now, we just went power, and we kind of crossbreed. You can't go power legs just all the way through because they'll kill you. So now, so you gotta kind of use a hybrid when you're doing legs. So now we're using form, isolate muscle groups. So we're not using so many big muscle groups, and we're also using a little bit more reps. Same thought process though, lean down with your butt, feet together, create a little angle. There you go. Good job. Yep. Lean down with your butt. There you go. Dive up. There you go. Nice. That's good. All of them like that. Good job. Rep them out. Make sure you breathe. There you go. Good work. There you go. There you go. Stay in rhythm. Nice. Good job. 5, 4, 3, 2. One more. Nice. Good work. Good work. Feel the difference? Feel it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Really take a little drink, a little breather. Next one we're going to do what we're doing a pirouette. And then we'll go one more time through that. Great job. Good job there. Great work. Now you can see that this is not going to be a long workout, but it's intense and you're already sweating because of the intensity. You understand? So that's why I'm not killing you with reps and everything else like that. We don't have a long rest period in between. It's in and out. So in most cases, I'm like, okay, I'd rather come and do heavy. But then, you know what I'm saying? But it's intense. You're getting after it, right? All right, let's go to the pirouette one. Huh?
I hate those endurance.
Yeah. I'd rather come in. Yeah, I'd rather come in. I'd rather come in. Endurance is a killer. So a good aiming point that I like for people to feel like is that the heel are directly underneath your armpits, and you're usually in a good posture or a little bit outside. You're usually in a good stabilizing. You understand where you're going, and then you just out and over. There you go. Lead and lead, out and over. Yep, good one. Yep. Good.
Yeah.
Over and do explosion on you. Oh man, for
Give me
real.
power.
Yeah. All right, let's get it. Good posture. There you go. Neutral with your feet. Don't have to be too far forward. Good job. Let's go. Nice. Good job. Good lift. Keep your chest up. Lean down with your butt. There you go. Good one. Nice. Good job. There you go. Good work. Squeeze inside your legs. Yep. Squeeze up. There you go. Knees out. Squeeze. Good job. 5. Don't lean over. 4. Good job. 3. Good work. 2. One more. Good job. Great work. Up. Nice. You felt those ones when I said don't get over.
Yeah.
You got over your posture, got over your body, kind of got a little bit over vertical.
Yep.
It's not really big on here. I see it, and there's a break in the form. On here, the machine kind of keeps you already in a stabilizing spot where you just can't tip and go too far over. What I want you to be conscious of is that when you're not doing it on the machine, and if you happen to do it with a free bar, or you do it on your own, or whatever, I want you to be conscious of not doing that. So that's why I made statements like that, even though the machine is not going to let you go too far. But I want you to be aware to know that, okay, that wasn't a good one. You know, as I get tired, this is what's going to happen. You understand what I'm saying? And it's usually a combination of fatigue and just being lethargic, just not really thinking. You know, I find it really easy, and I tell my athletes when I'm giving them a cadence, like another one, stuff like that. I tell them to listen to what it is that I'm saying and match it with what they're feeling. So if I say good one, that means, okay, I just keep doing this, and then everything is good. You understand what I'm saying? If I say too far forward, then that means I don't do this. I said breathe, that means, okay, I'm holding my breath. If I say a couple more reps, that means, okay, I push myself. You understand what I'm saying? So each thing I'm saying is meaning something, and it's not exactly what it is that I'm saying. When you're dissecting it inside your head, that's what I want your thought process to be. I want you to always be in self-check, self-correct. You understand what I'm saying? Why you're in the moment. And that's the same thing on the basketball court. Okay, pass coming here. This guy coming around the pick. You have to be aware. Now, I'm not just saying that because of that you're not about to go compete or anything in basketball or whatever, but because you've done that and you understand how you got to be aware of your body, where you are and stuff is. And it's very important for safety in here. You understand what I'm saying? It's very important for, like when we're talking about where people hit muscles and they think they're hitting the muscle and they're not actually hitting the muscle. Okay, let's give it one more run through, feet together. One more run through pirouette.
Again?
Yeah, one more run through, and then we got stiff leg deadlifts, and we'll be on the downside. Feet together, up in front. Intensity, switch your mind. Good intensity. Let's get at it. We're going to rep them out. We're going to rep it out this time. There you go. Good form. Chin up, chest up. Feet down with the butt. Let's get it. Nice. Good movement. That's a good move. That's a good movement. There you go. There you go. All of them like that. Stay tall. Good job. Nice. Drive your heels. There you go. Feet are planted. Drive from the ground up. Nice. 5. Beautiful. 4. 3. Good job. 2. Control it down. 1. One more. One more. Yep. Good job. Great movement. Great posture. Great form. Way to be in the moment. Really, really captured your athleticism in that movement and staying in control of your body, except the one where you dropped a little bit fast and got down. But you got in the rhythm where 4 or 5 of them was really beautiful, meaning that you was inside yourself. You was inside your whole movement. You was listening. You was driving from the ground. Your legs was coming up. You was working your knee joints and all them old things that you like. Dang, I ain't know. You understand what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful feeling when you do that, because it makes you feel alive. It makes you feel like, okay, I'm functional. I can move. Maybe I might be able to go out here. You understand what I'm saying? But even if you can't go out here and still do that, you still an athlete in this moment. You're still, you know what I'm saying, creating perfection or perfecting your movement in this particular moment. And it becomes more than just lifting weights. It becomes about health. It becomes about feeling your whole body, feeling yourself. You know, a lot of people are like, man, I never feel like that. Yeah, you probably ain't feel like that. Let's like this last pirouette one. Let's get that same kind of intensity, that same kind of focus, be in a moment, driving from the ground. Everything starts from the ground up. Knee down with the butt starts from the ground up. Good posture, let's get it. There you go. Good form. Thought process, head up, chin up. Keep your spine up. Then make sure that your spine's in a good angle. There you go. Let's get it. That's it. There you go. That's good. Get in that moment. There you go. Good job. Knees out. There you go. Drive from the ground. Great work. That's good work right there. That's another good. Nice. Good work. Good work. Stay in that moment. 5, 4, 3, 2. One more. Cheated me on the last one though. That ain't a way to finish that, but I get that to you. Cheated me on that last one though. I assumed that it was gonna be good, so you sure dogged me on the last one. You didn't get down there on that last. Yeah, you sure dogged me on the last one. That's alright. I was already saying racket before, so you sure dogged me. But that's a good job. Great squat, great workout. Probably good right now in your body. You probably feel a little burn in your legs. Feel the endorphins, feel the energy level, feel the heat up. Your body temperature rising a little bit, a little sweat, a little fatigue. Feel the joints actually loosening up and everything else like that. Feel your back. What you're not feeling is the endurance where it's burning, the lactic acid, and all the other things. All right. Let's get after this. I want this to be a teaching, but I also want you to do it too. There's 2 ways that you could do this, and both ways is correct to me, so I really don't care. Some people like to get their feet wide and their hands inside. I really say don't put your hands too much to the outside when you're doing this, because your bar got to go up a longer distance. See where the bar is right now? As opposed to where the bar is right now, almost a full length. You understand what I'm saying? And out here is a lot of pressure on my shoulder joints. When I'm out here, there's a lot of pressure on my shoulder joints, as opposed to when I'm right here. See where my ain't so much pressure on my shoulder joints. The weight is just hanging from here. So what the arms feel like is like when you're just bending over and just your arms are hanging. That's what I want that arm to always feel like. I want the arms to feel like hanging. I don't want the arms to feel like they're pushing or doing anything in the movement. You understand what I'm saying? So I want the arms and the shoulders to hang freely.
They're just relaxing?
Yeah, they're just relaxing. They're just a muscle stabilizing. Pretty much
What about holding the bar?
Reverse. Oh yeah, you can do it. You can do it that way too. I was about to say you can do it that way too.
Okay.
That doesn't really, because the focus is not, and it's really even on a daily. The focus is moving the weight and working the muscle that you want to move. I don't care how you put your grip on to hold it like that, which is fine. That's definitely fine. The main focus that I want you not to do, I don't want you to lock your knees or your knees to go hyperextend back or anything else like that. I want you to keep a slight bend in your knee, because that's going to keep the pull on your hamstrings and the pressure on your back. Even when I bend over to stretch, I still do the same thing. Although I can lock my knees out and stretch, that's not good for the knees, and that's not good for the knee joints, and that's not good for the meniscus and all the other stuff. So I want a slight bend in your knees, and what I don't want is I don't want your back and your spine to hunch over. You see me hunch? That's hunch. This is what I want. This is hunch. This is what I want. You see how? Yeah. Basically, you start from your squat, and then you just going forward with that same form. Okay. You're not really hunching with your body. The reason why I don't want you to hunch is then your spine actually comes in a curvature, and as you come up, it makes it harder on your spine, and the meniscus and inside the, not the meniscus, but inside the little bursae between each of your vertebrae, it puts a little bit more pressure. When you're already hunched, when you're already up like this, now the muscle's already intact, so your spine really isn't doing any work, so it's your back muscles and everything else that's actually moving. Not so much on your spine, because your spine can actually go from here and do a lot of the work before your back muscles actually kick in. And I'm not trying to work your spine at this particular point. I'm trying to work bones, because you can't strengthen bones like that. We said, well, you don't lift weights to strengthen bones. So, yep, your posture, I don't care how you grab it. Slight bend in knees, yep, that's good. And you should feel it, all the way from here, all the way up through your glutes from the bend. There you go. You can feel your feet in the ground. You should feel that being solid. So that feels solid. This is sturdy. From here, I feel it right back here through my back and my butt, and right underneath here. Yep, perfect. Same thing down. Nice, good job. Good job. Don't elevate, don't go so much on the level with squatting down as opposed to bending down. You understand? This is not a squat down, this is a bend. There you go. Try to keep your butt on the same level. Like there you go. There you go. Hand down, hand up. There you go. You see the difference there? There you go. So keep your butt on the same plane of elevation. There you go. That's the difference between the squats. Still bending the knees. Nice. Good work. Good job. Breathe. Keep your butt on the same level. Stay on the same plane on the down. There you go. That makes the stretch of the hamstring. There you go. 4 from here. Butt still dropping a little bit. 3. Keep your butt high. There you go. 2. There you go. Just a stretch.
Oh, weird. Like
yeah. Yep. 1 more. Good job. Yep. Keep your butt high. There you go. Nice. That was a good one. Go ahead and sit down. Great job. Yeah, it does feel a little bit weird because what you're doing, the reason why I'm not dropping on, if I drop the level of my butt when I do this, then it becomes a quad exercise instead of a hamstring exercise. This right here, the change in the level actually becomes a mini squat. And the hip flexors and the quad is doing the majority of the lifting. You understand? If I go right here, now my hamstrings are stretching and my glutes. Yeah, you see where my butt is? You see, watch me from a, come from the side angle. And what actually happens is that my hips come out and they actually rotate in. You see what I'm saying? They move forward and back, not that much up and down. So forward, chest up, back. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? It feels weird, but it makes for nice hamstrings and a good butt. You understand what I'm saying? It makes all that look good. So if you think of your pelvic and your midsection moving more like this, then like this. Just go like this. Yeah, go like this with your midsection. There you go. And then drive your midsection forward. And there you go. Now that's pulling from your hamstring. You feel the difference? Then drive your. There you go. Now this is Go ahead and bend a little bit. There you go. Now come up. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Now that's still the same thing on the squat. You're still driving, but you're incorporating different muscle groups. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the difference between the hamstrings and putting the quads in that movement.
Slight bend.
Slight bend.
Here?
Yep.
Am I good right there?
Yep, that looks good. Chest up, chin up, there you go. And now I'll give you the pull, that'll give the arc in the spine. There you go. And then shoulders up and back and through. Nice, good job, good movement. Same thing, yep. Good work, good work. That's a lot better form. Good job, nice. There you go, 5 from there. There you go, that's a good one. 4, good one. 3, good job. 2, 1 more. Nice, that's good work. That's good work. That's just go tighten the glutes, go tighten the hamstrings and all that. Beautiful work. That was good work right there. That was a good one. Not so much of a drop it, and you're conscious of it. You cannot not drop it. You have to be super flexible, or the weight has to be up pretty high for you to get down here and not, you know what I'm saying, give a little here. But for the most part, you don't want to overcompensate with getting down here and starting that movement with the squat movement. You understand? You always want it to be a stretch movement.
So that's back and hamstring?
That's back and hamstring. Lower back hamstring, gluteus maximus, minimus, butt muscles, a whole bunch of different muscles. Semitendinosus. At the very beginning of it, it becomes a little shoulders, rear delts, and traps. It's a good overall body movement. But the primary muscles that it's focusing on is the glutes, the back, the lower lat tie-in, or the fascias that run over the lower back, and the hamstrings. Not one more, just for a couple reps, just to get a little stretch, and then we'll go with the back. We'll get our back workout in and get you out of here. Let me see it from this angle. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Here.
Yep. Good form. Nice, man. Good. Little squatty on the butt. There you go. There you go. Better. Nice. Chest up, but forward. Nice. Good job. There you go. Pelvic through. There you go. Pelvic through. Nice. Squeeze the glutes together as you come up. Squeeze the glutes. Nice. Another one. 2 more. Good job. 1 more. Good. Squeeze the glutes. Good. Good movement. Feel the difference in it as you come up. Squeeze the glutes. Squeeze everything in. Squeeze the hamstrings. Yep. Good movement. It's good movement. All right. Let me get mine. Got 2 times through the circuit. We're going to roll and we're going to pull down. So the seat will come around. I'll demonstrate it. Feet up. Elbows back and through. Elbows back and through. Just like you rowing a boat. Got it? And we're rowing across Park Lake, so. Yeah, it is. There you go. Elbows back and through. But we'll get after. Come on, elbows back and through. There you go. I'm just making sure that you ain't got to do a lot. That's why I got it kind of heavy. There you go. Elbows back and through. Nice. Good job. Good point. Elbows back and through. Nice. Elbows back and through. Nice. Good job. That's what you should feel. Feel all that feeling. There you go. 3, 2, 1 more. Nice. Great work. Great work. Yeah, a little bit. Too bad I don't listen to complaints. Alright, bring the seat around. Go ahead and bring the seat around here. There you go. And then we'll do the same thing, pull down. Elbows, let me actually demonstrate it. Same thing on the seat. It's coming back at a little angle. Elbows actually, my elbows aren't up. I actually drop my elbows kind of forward like this, and I pull my elbows down and through. So I act like I'm clapping my elbows back around my back. Elbows back and forth. What you see a lot of people do is do this. And that's shoulder blades, and you're not really working your back. This right here, isolate my back So whenever you isolate your elbows, you isolate
I
your
know, I
back.
always wondered, like, when people go real heavy weight on, they go,
Yeah, they're not doing.
Are
That's
they doing
momentum. That's their lower back. That's momentum. That's their arms. They pulling it. You actually, this movement is actually to work your back. There you go. That one's forward. There you go. There you go. Yep. Down and through. There you go. Good job. Just right underneath the chin. There you go. But like clapping your elbow. Back around there. There you go. Nice. Good job. Chest up. Good job. Extend it all the way out. All the way out. Long day from one side. Yep. Yep. And back down. There you go. You want to be flexible. There you go. Good job. 5, 4, 3. Good work. 2. One more. Good job. One more time through and we're done. Good work. Good work. Being that I didn't even record that. I'll get that one this time. I got so caught up with the good work. Good posture, good work and everything. Take a quick drink. Let's get you up out of here. One more real big sit. And this time, I'm going to do it how we would do it if we were working a combination of legs. So we'll go from there. We'll get our rest. Quick little, not even really a break, just a transition to get ready.
Okay.
And then to that one. Let's knock one sit out like that and call it a day. Good intensity. Stay form. Stay focused. Stay in the movement. Yeah, I knew you was going to say something. Don't listen. Even when it's heavy, it's the same principle. Either you can do it or you can't do it, okay? And if you can do it, there's going to be a point in time that your body's going to fatigue. Right. The beautiful thing about heavy is that you don't have to do it for a long period of time. You understand what I'm saying? Exactly. And that's what you get to appreciate in heavy. You understand? Heavy, you ain't got to go far. You understand what I'm saying? So heavy is your friend because you ain't got to do a lot, and that's why for you doing this moment, the rower motion is heavy. When you do the pull down motion, it's not as heavy. You understand? But that's why you do more when it's not as heavy. So you got to go a lot further. So always keep that in mind. All right, good form. Let's get it.
I like it.
Yeah, heavy is a friend.
I don't like
It's my friend.
And I don't like endurance.
Yeah, huh? Let's get it. There you go. Elbows down and back. There you go. Nice. Make sure you're breathing. Good movement. Nice. Beautiful work. Good job. Let's go. Let's get intense. Let's end the day on a good note. Let's get this work session. There you go. 3 more. Come on. 2 more. 1 more. Great job. Good intensity. What is that? Great job. So the transition. There you go. Seat adjusted. There you go. Good form. Elbows down through. Nice. Good work. Fully extend. There you go. Stretch it out. Nice. Good job. Great work. Make sure you're breathing. Good posture. Nice. Good work. Great work. There you go. Now you're in the muscle. 5, 4, 3. Good work. 2. 1 more. Nice. Good job. Great work. And that's it.
Thank you.
Great work. Great work today.
Ooh, I didn't do this.
We leave that out. We leave that out.
I like it.
I didn't. There's no need, and this is what you